Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. It's Tanya from Tartantaz Creates and I'm standing outside the Lochgelly Centre in Lochgelly in Fife. It is where the Fife exhibition is being held and I have one of my paintings hung up. So I thought you might like to come along and have a look before I share with you the time lapse of me painting the painting. So come along with me. I'm now standing inside the building where my painting is hung. This is my painting here, a Scottish rose. So I'm now going to transport you back to the studio to show you the time lapse. Let's get started. Thanks for sticking with me and welcome to my studio. As you can see, I am starting this particular painting with a tonal background. I normally just start with on the gesso. However, on this occasion I took some yellow ochre and some golden glazing fluid and painted my entire canvas a light yellow ochre and then used the yellow ochre to paint in my guidelines. And now I'm just concentrating on getting the tonal values in the face, getting my lights and my darks to give that 3D effect. Although at this point I did have a general idea about how I wanted this painting to look, it was more an overall feeling that I was going for rather than the specifics, because you may notice that the guidelines that I've got for some of the flowers, for example, they actually change as the painting goes on. I also knew that I was specifically painting this for the exhibition. And the exhibition is not just an exhibition, it was also a competition as well. So I knew that I wanted to really show some of my strengths within this painting. But I also wanted to push myself a little bit to be a little bit more creative with my idea and my concept, which was one of the reasons why I didn't use a reference photo for this. I wanted to really tap into my imagination and my creativity. I have painted a few portraits over the last couple of years, so I felt fairly confident that I could do this particular one without a reference. Although there were a few occasions where I did question my logic in that. But I got there in the end. And the one thing that I will always remember about painting this portrait, this painting, is the fact that I actually had company to do it. And the reason I had company to do it was because I actually did a couple of live sessions. This footage that we're currently on at the moment, I actually painted live on Facebook. If you haven't seen me on Facebook and you'd like to follow me, then you can find me Tartantaz Creates. So I would just like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who popped in on my Facebook live sessions and gave me some support and some company. Really very much appreciated. I loved having the company and enjoyed our discussions. We talked about the type of paint that I was using, we talked about the brushes, we talked about all sorts of things. And because I enjoyed it so much, I plan to do more live sessions, so don't forget to go and follow me. If you'd like to see me go live on YouTube, why don't you say so in the comments and I will take a look at how I go about doing that. In fact, if you have any suggestions about the kind of videos that you would like to see in the future, again, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your suggestions. There are two things I'd quite like to point out at this moment in time. One, you'll see that she has no eyes at the moment, and that's because I couldn't actually decide whether to have her eyes shut or whether to have her eyes open. And it was also at this point in the painting that I decided to take it in a different direction. I decided that rather than her be in front of the rose bush, I wanted her to be part of the rose bush. I had also toyed with the idea of changing the title of the painting, but I decided to go with my original thought, which was A Scottish Rose. And the reason it's called A Scottish Rose is because I wanted her to be a part of me, and I'm from Scotland, so Scottish, and Rose, so that's how the title came about, because she's Scottish and is part of the rose bush. Her hair is red because traditionally there are lots of redheads in Scotland. If you're still with me, watching and listening, I would just like to say thank you very much, because I really appreciate it. I appreciate you taking the time, because certainly this painting took a lot of time. I know it's sped up, but we're talking hours and hours of work that has been condensed down into 9 minutes. And this is set at times 64, so you can see it has taken quite some time to paint. There are lots of layers. There is lots of details that have been put in over the top, and at the moment what I'm doing is putting in the details of her hair, but then eventually what you'll see me do is dragging the hair down and have it intertwined as if it's growing into the bush, and then you'll eventually see me bringing the bush up into her hair, and you will see me actually putting, in fact I'm doing it now, as you can see me putting the leaves into her hair. Once that's done, I've got left the eyes and the butterflies, and I have a confession. As you can see, I've done the butterflies before I've even put the eyes in, and that's because I was a little bit afraid of not getting it right and not getting the right look that I was looking for. And as I mentioned earlier on, I was looking for a certain feeling, and I wasn't sure if that feeling would be better with her eyes shut or with her eyes open. But in the end, I did go for it. I decided that I wanted her eyes to be open, because I felt that her eyes, as anybody's eyes, are really going to be the windows to her soul. So to get that romantic fantasy love feeling, I decided to paint her eyes open. As we're coming to the end of this video, I would just like to say thank you very much for listening to me ramble on. I hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, please support this channel by giving me the thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell if you want to get notifications of my future videos. And one final thing before I go. Although I didn't win the competition, I thoroughly enjoyed painting this girl. I really enjoyed interacting with my followers on Facebook Live, and I would just like to encourage you to go for it, to paint something, to feel that fear and do it anyway. Submit your work. It doesn't matter whether you win or you don't win. The taking part, I know it's very cliche, but the taking part really does make it all worthwhile. I'm absolutely thrilled to bits and excited that that is now 2 of my paintings have been in exhibitions in Fife. You can do it. You've got this. So take care everybody. Happy painting. Bye for now.